In this artifact, I will describe both negative and positive aspects of me as a writer and my writing as a whole through the use of memes. Okay, so this first meme is supposed to show how, although I structure and outline my essay really well before actually writing it, I end up writing something that looks completely different for my essay. I'm a writer that likes to organize my ideas, so I have a clear and set mind on what I want to write about. However, when it comes down to actually writing the essay, I have a hard time following this outline I made. So, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems I have is creating or making sure that my thesis is present in my work. I think that in every single writing project we've done so far, I've always received feedback from both Professor Guerrero and from my peers that my thesis is either not there or very vague. My content is there, but since I don't have a clear thesis, it's hard for my ideas to flow smoothly and connect with each other. Okay, so hopefully I'm not alone in saying that I always manage to start and finish an essay or work last minute on it. No matter what, I always start either the day before something is due or 2 days beforehand. Literally, the professor could extend the due date by 4 days and I'll still end up finishing it an hour before it's due. But in a way, this is because I work better under pressure. I feel that all my great ideas come from the pressure I suffer through. I find it really hard to come up with anything good to write about when I work ahead of time. This meme is supposed to portray how I am a writer that is short and concise. I do not like placing too much detail in my writing because then the main claims that I want to make will get buried under my writing. My content is straight to the point and it's focused. My audience won't find much irrelevant ideas in my writing. I think this helps for my pieces not to go off the rails too much. However, I feel that because of this, I struggle to write papers that have a higher minimum word or page count. And then being short and concise comes back and hits me in the head whenever I do. In this meme, I portray how I hate going through and looking back at my first and second draft. Specifically, I hate looking at the feedback. The feedback I receive is constructive and helpful, but it makes me feel stupid. It lowers my confidence in the content I wrote. However, the meme is also supposed to portray how I actually prefer to start from scratch for my final draft. Of course, I'm going to keep the same foundation in my final draft, but I like to look at the feedback briefly and structure an essay that fulfills the requirements that my first two drafts lack. In the previous meme, I talked about how my confidence goes down whenever I receive constructive feedback from both Mr. Guerrero and my peers. But being a confident writer, I think, is one of the integral parts of my writing. The content I put in my writing shows no doubt. I don't use words like probably or maybe because it makes the reader question my logic. Those words make the reader ask, well, is it or is it not? It would also reveal that I am unsure of what point I want to make and what message I want my readers to take from my writing, which is the opposite of what I want. Finally, the most prevalent characteristic in my writing is that whenever evidence is asked for me to back up my claims, I do a very good job of backing them up. I always search for the most relevant and important evidence to assist my claims. It shows that I'm a credible writer, and in the end, that's what we all want from a writer, no empty claims.